Hello, this is Donnie Smith, and this is the Where Are You Now podcast. This is a podcast that interviews different students from students of mine and other students to see what they're up to and where they are at and how this training, collision repair training, has prepared them for the different careers that they're in. And today we have Patrick Sampoll. He was one of my students, and Patrick now owns his own shop. He has a shop here in El Dorado, Kansas, and, it's been real successful. I've been in there several times, and it seems like he's always really busy. And we'll just turn it over to Patrick. You want to tell us a little bit about your business, Patrick?
Hey, Donnie. Sure. I run a body shop here in El Dorado, Kansas. It's currently only 2 employees work at it. We do anything from collision repair to full-blown restorations. We sublet all our mechanical work out and frame work. We do all the body work, panel replacement, and paint work here in the shop. I've been in business for a little over a year now. We opened up in August of 2010.
Well, as being a business owner, and you said you've been in there doing this for over a year now, what have you seen some of the challenges being? I guess especially from, starting a business new.
I think the biggest challenge is getting your name out there and having people find the location. Once they're in the door, it's not so hard, but really getting them to know where you're at and know where you're located is the biggest challenge. I've had a lot of people come in and tell me that even now they still don't know that there's been a body shop in the location that we're at, and we're on a main street and a highway that leads out of town. So I think that the biggest part is just getting your name out there and getting people to know that you're offering a service in the local area. And
well, it seems like you might do a pretty good job at that, because I know I've been in there several times, and it seems like you always have quite a bit of business. If you had any problems with business, I mean, being new and trying to get your name out there, it seems like you've stayed busy. Is that right?
That's correct. I haven't had too much trouble. In the town that we're in, we only have 3 major body shops, and we probably have a population of around 14 or 15,000. So being only 3 of us, it keeps me pretty busy. And I think we could do a lot more if we had the hands to do all the work. But just starting out, I think it's easier to take it slow and not hire a bunch of people. That way you can
I think that's
pay all your bills. And I agree with you. I think that the biggest thing is not getting ahead of yourselves and just taking it slow. Being a small business, it sure is tough to make sure that you got all your ends covered, and that way you don't have too much overhead and not enough work.
Right. So start out with slow or low overhead and build from there. That sounds like a good business model. Of course, I know a little bit about your training past because, you was one of my students here, but I know you also completed the automotive program and the collision repair program here at Butler. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that you think that may have helped you prepare for this type of career?
Sure. I took the Automotive Technology at Butler Community College when I was a junior and senior in high school. I took it through a state program in Kansas called ECATS high school. I thought when I first got into this field that I wanted to be a mechanic, and I took the automotive course wanting to further my knowledge, as you could say. I decided once I took that course that it was something I enjoyed, but it wasn't something I wanted to do every day. Getting covered in grease from head to toe and standing underneath cars and bending over fenders all day to do mechanical work just wasn't for me. It was a good learning experience because I got to learn all the aspects of the suspension to the drivetrain all the way to the motor, but it just wasn't something I enjoyed to do every day. After I took the Automotive Technology course, I transferred to the collision repair side. It was a 2-year course also, and I decided that working on the body of the car was something I enjoyed a lot more. It was easier for me to adapt to learning it. It was easier to clean up when you were done, and it was something that it didn't require as much learning as you went through the field. It seems now that mechanics are more computer technicians to me. You have to have all the computers to read the sensors and to read the modules in the car to diagnose the problem. It's not just wrenching on a car anymore, as you would say.
And I think that's the key point because, I get the same thing too. You need to get there and explore things because I've had students in the collision repair that realize, that it's more work as well and realize it's not for them, So, that's a good point.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that way when I first got into it, but then as we got into the course further and further, it was more computers and sensors and everything like that rather than just being all the mechanical parts that were on a car. But after I completed my collision repair, I took some estimating courses or seminars, and I've been through PPG's Paint Training Center in Kansas City, so I'm a PPG certified painter, which also makes my shop a PPG certified shop, so we can warranty any work that we do through it.
Yeah, and you're doing the waterborne also, right?
Right. We just moved in a PPG's waterborne system, the AquaBase, so we just went environmental friendly with that, and we are just starting to try it out, so it's been a learning process also. It seems like you never quit learning in this industry, but everything's changing quickly now to further better the environment. A lot of the shops now are converting over to water-based from solvent-based to not only because of EPA regulations, but it's also going green, so it's helping the environment at the same time.
Okay, well, anything else you want to say about your business, or?
No, I would suggest that anybody who is looking to go into the industry is to learn as much as possible while you are in school, and don't be afraid to take the steps to actually learn while you're there. Everything can be fixed with time and money, but once you get out in the field and start working for somebody or start your own business, it's all your money that you're playing with, and the customer's car has got to get out as quickly as possible, so mistakes are better made in school rather than in the work field.
Well, good. That answered my last question. I was going to ask if you had any advice, so that kind of sounds like some good advice for me for potential students that's interested in entering this career.
Well, Patrick, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day-to-day to do this interview.
All right, glad I could help.
And if you are looking for some body work in this area, you can contact Patrick. His telephone number is 316-323-4013, or you can visit him on the web at www.eliteautobodyks.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.